Hello everybody, my name is Alex and today I'm going to bring you a video covering the topic of Black Ops 4's Blackout beta. So I'm sure there are a ton of reviews on this video and I just want to say I'm not some video game expert. I just really like the Call of Duty series and I think I know enough about it to make like a pretty good educated opinion. But I'm not some professional that knows the ins and outs of everything in the industry. So take what I say with a grain of salt and let's just try to have fun with it because I really want this game to do well. So here is my opinion and I'll give a little bit of a backstory to preface it. I own a PlayStation 4 Slim, an Xbox One X, and a PC. I got some beta codes from Activision and I'm gonna have to say that I've enjoyed it on the PlayStation the most, probably because it has 88 players. It seems that the Xbox does not have 88 players and I don't think PC did either. I didn't really notice that many big differences across the platforms as far as gameplay goes. It felt like this was more optimized for console than PC. There were a few hiccups with PC, but that was more on the graphics performance area, not as much as the gameplay. They all felt pretty damn similar. There are some games that I think are designed for PC. This one can go either way, just depending on your feel for it. I'm just not very good with a mouse and keyboard. I generally don't play on PC because I just get my ass kicked. I don't see the point. As far as the difference between PlayStation and Xbox, the only difference that I could really notice was obviously the resolution was better on the Xbox One X versus the Slim, but they were virtually the same, except for the 88 players. I think that it's a very good game. I think it's going to do well. It is obvious that this is where Treyarch has been focusing. And as they've been saying in these Game Informer interviews that have been slowly coming out, David Vonderhaar and Dan Bunting, it's not that they did or did not cancel the campaign. It's just that over development, things happen with popularity and trends and ideas. And in the studio, certain things weren't working out. So they really just wanted to focus on Battle Royale. And you can tell that this is where Treyarch is putting their money. In May, when I saw how multiplayer was kind of just glossed over and zombies was the forefront, that was because I didn't have any information on Blackout. Well, none of us did, really. Now I think Blackout is the forefront of Black Ops 4. Do you like zombies? Do you like multiplayer? Do you like Call of Duty? Do you like the Black Ops series? Well, you get all of that in one world under the genre of Battle Royale. That's a pretty unique experience, if you ask me. I think it's going to do well. I do not think that it's going to take out Fortnite, not at all. Not because it is bad or because Fortnite is better. That's obviously subjective. It's due to the fact that Fortnite and Call of Duty, especially Blackout, even though they're both battle royales, they are two different games. It's not like there's going to be some battle royale takeover coming from Treyarch. All this game is doing is bringing out all the fans who love COD who have been waiting for a battle royale for themselves. Fortnite was already huge without me playing it. Same with PUBG. PUBG may lose some player base because Call of Duty Blackout is much more optimized for console, so that's gonna steer a lot of fans towards Blackout. I doubt the numbers are really gonna get touched because there was just an untapped market and Call of Duty Blackout is going to satisfy those customers like me. I didn't play PUBG, H1Z1, any of those battle royales, especially Fortnite. I just didn't really like them. Now I have a game that I like, that I can get good at, that I can love and stream and try so many different things, and it has multiplayer as well, which I love, and then of course zombies. So this game, it really is the ultimate package for a fan like me, and that's going to bring out people from the woodwork. Do you think I'm the only person that likes these three modes? Hell no. There's probably millions of other people that like it. So, like I said, it's not going to take over Fortnite or PUBG. It's going to satisfy customers that weren't getting satisfied. So I really don't see the numbers of PUBG or Fortnite dipping, at least not that much. Maybe a little bit at the beginning, but it's not going to do anything to either of them. Like I said, maybe PUBG because they are also a military style battle royale shooter game, but I think people are so used to those types of games that this is really for COD fans. The only thing that I really have noticed that suffering for Blackout, and perhaps Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in general, is the graphics. They're very strange. It's hard for me to say that multiplayer was worse because I don't remember and I deleted all my gameplay for the beta. When I was playing on PS4, the resolution is just whatever. Pretty sure it's not 60 frames. I felt like it was decent. When I noticed it was worse was on the Xbox One X. And then I noticed it was even worse when I played it on PC. So essentially, every time I bumped up the resolution, it was more clear how shitty everything was. It's not that the resolution makes for a better gaming experience. All it does is highlight the frumpy graphics. Anytime I've had a game that is graphically superior to some other game, I end up not really having that good of an experience in the long run, because I end up just like looking at how beautiful everything is, and gameplay is a second. And I think that gameplay is first. Gameplay, story, you know, that kind of thing, lore and all that shit. And then graphics come later. Graphics are awesome. I love great graphics, but you know, Ocarina of Time is one of the best games ever. NFL Blitz was awesome. Super Mario 64, Mario Kart for Super Nintendo, Tecmo Bowl, the old Doom games, and Wolfenstein. Like, all these old games, their graphics sucked ass, and they were some of the classics that built the gaming industry. So great graphics don't really mean that much to me. Yes, I like them, but gameplay has to come first, and that's what Blackout is. They did not sell themselves short. I was playing on the PlayStation 4 and I was having a good experience. I got kicked out of the game a couple times because of their server and whatnot, but for the most part, it was a smooth experience. Xbox, same thing, except for the lack of 88 players. And then when I put it on PC a little while ago, I was playing and I cranked up the settings all the way because I really wanted to see what it was like. I turned off VSync and I was getting a shit ton of screen tearing, and I don't think I clipped past 60 frames per second one time. It was constantly at 30 to 40, and then when I switched on VSync, it still was not at 60 frames per second. I know they're gonna drop it down because Treyarch doesn't want the game to run slowly or poorly for anybody, so the frame rate is down, but it was really weird. I had the graphics cranked all the way up and I was experiencing more issues on PC than I did on Xbox or PlayStation. And granted, I don't have a $5,000 PC. I have a GTX 1070 in it. It's not the worst PC in the world. It's not the best, but it should be able to handle this. So when I was running it on an ultra wide monitor, it was going over 6,000 VRAM. I think I was capping out at almost 7,000. Then when I dropped it down to 16:9, I went down to 5,000. So I was 1,000 below my VRAM cap out. So it ran quote unquote perfectly, but I was landing into Varrock and it started loading in blocks. Like there was nothing. It was rendering so slowly for images far away. My computer was doing fine. It was doing fine, but the frame rate was low. Everything was low. So I don't think this game is meant to be like boosted graphically. I really don't. I think your best bet is a PlayStation Slim or a PlayStation, you know, just a regular PS4 or an Xbox. I don't think having 4K resolution on this game is going to do you any good. And I'm talking just Blackout. As far as multiplayer goes, I don't know. The graphics weren't anything stand out. Again, that was gameplay, but I really believe that when we get zombies into the mix, it's going to be a different game. I think that Zombies has always had superior graphics to the rest of the game modes. It just seems like since Zombies, they give us one map at a time. Well, in this case, they're giving us 3 or 4, but usually we get one at a time. So that allows fans to explore every little detail. So a lot more detail and time goes into those maps, since obviously it's just one. And I was playing Varrock a little bit ago to get some stills to compare for Varrock on Blackout, aka Asylum, and I was really noticing how much detail goes into these Zombies maps. And Blackout is almost barren because they had to cut things out in order to make Blackout work with the player count and whatnot. And Treyarch did a fucking great job. It genuinely looks, for the most part, like Black Ops 3, but with worse foliage and some kind of rendering issues of objects from far away. On screen, I have a picture from Blackout, and I'm crouched in front of a bush. Looks kind of like an aloe plant a little bit, with these flowers coming out of the middle, and it doesn't really look that good. I mean, you can tell it's a plant. It has some texture on it, nothing great, but those flowers look like trash. But that's not the point of the game. And you can also look in the background and see the grass, those leaves, they sway, which is good because it gives the player a feel for being in the environment. But for the most part, it's not good. They're just like lines with different shadows on them. They are smooth looking, but it's not great. The little details aren't really there like we have in other Treyarch games. And if you look at this other picture, this is from Verrückt, and I'm going to show some other images in a second. But look at these leaves. This is from Zombies. So if you look at these leaves, you can see that there's like almost a mist going over the leaves, and you can see the veins in the leaves stemming off of the main stem. You can look in the background and see the water pooling in the corner. You can look at those bags and see the different texture and tell that it's made out of burlap. And you can even look at that door and see how the paint's been chipping out after all those years. Here's another image of Verrückt from Blackout and Verrückt from Black Ops 3. I still say that Treyarch did an amazing job recreating this for Black Ops 4, considering how big this map is. However, the map in Black Ops 3 looks a little better. It's a little more clear. There's more visibility in the details. If you look on the floor, you can see the dirt pretty clear. You can see the bricks and the paper. And if you look at the picture on Blackout, the image it's a little soft. And this is on the same console. This is on PlayStation 4 Slim. This isn't 4K upscaled enhanced PC 130 frames per second. This is just regular ass PlayStation Slim. So you can even look at the pillars, compare them side by side, and see that even they are both in pretty good quality, but in Verrückt for Black Ops 3, it's just a little better. Not by much, but it's noticeably better. And again, this is one tiny map from the previous game versus a huge map on the new game, and it's the beta. So the fact that they're so close just shows me how good of a job Treyarch did packing all of this into one map, one big map with 88 players. So here's a picture of the courtyard from Verrückt in Black Ops 3 versus the courtyard in Blackout. If you look in the courtyard, everything is pretty consistent. There's more plant matter in Verrückt and Black Ops 3, and if you also notice, there are these little orange specks. It looks kind of like ash and amber floating off. Treyarch loves to do that. That's actually one of my fucking favorite things Treyarch does. They have these particles in the air that reflect light, and they make you really feel like you're in the environment. I know it's such a tiny thing, but there is none of that in Blackout. I don't think, at least I haven't noticed it. And there isn't any of that inside of Verrückt in Blackout. And even the statue in Black Ops 3, it looks more like it's made out of some sort of concrete. You can kind of see the textures a little better in the Black Ops 3 image versus the Blackout image. But again, one tiny map versus a huge map. And they're almost identical. Like if I showed somebody who doesn't play video games or know the map or care about any of this stuff, they wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. If you really compare these images side by side, you can see that Black Ops 3 looks better. So I'm really hopeful for Black Ops 4 when we get new multiplayer maps or new zombies maps to come in the future, because if they had this good of quality in their last game with the new engine, imagine what they're going to do with the new engine in this new game. I really think that we're in for a treat. At least I hope. Blackout is a very big game mode. It's a very ambitious game mode. I think it's its own thing with its own updates. It's not like just because they made Blackout that everything else is going to suffer. I really don't believe that, because even the cutscene for Blood of the Dead looked really good, and I'm pretty sure that was an in-game cutscene. So it's not this fully rendered World War II 8K bullshit. It's an in-game cutscene, and Dempsey kind of looked weird, but Richtofen and Nikolai and Takio all looked great. The poster was looking good. I mean, you'll see it on screen. It was looking great. So I really think we're in for a treat. I don't want people to worry when they say the graphics for Blackout look bad. It's just because it's a huge map, and Treyarch knew that gameplay came over graphics. There's one thing I always hear, especially from people my age. They're always saying, it's 2018. These graphics are unacceptable. I would rather have shitty trash graphics over great graphics if it means that we're going to get good gameplay, okay? I really think this is a great example of how talented Treyarch is at packing all these different maps that we have known and loved over the course of our lifetime and over the course of Treyarch's work world and universe. They put it into one place, allow us to shoot each other on it and have a great time, and they're gonna make the rest of the game so great. Not to mention, they're gonna share assets from all of these modes. There could be an ATV or some sort of thing that we get to ride in Zombies. There could be something from Zombies like an axe or whatever that comes into Blackout later down the line, like they did with the ray gun. Like, all this means is that we get to share more shit because of all these new ideas and innovations that Treyarch is bringing to Black Ops 4. It's a greatest hits with a twist, and I really think that we have a lot to look forward to in the coming months and year. So anyway, thank you for listening. I'll stop talking your head off, and I will see you guys in the next video.